Welcome back to 15 tips on effective speaking. I'm going to share number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 with you right here. So let's start out with preparation. Can you imagine standing up and speaking with no preparation? What would happen if you do that? You would use lots of empty words. That's the thing we're going to be talking about next. You would use lots of empty words. So preparation, making sure you research your topic, you're talking about something you're excited about, you lay it out in those bullet points. Again, I like to use large writing, and then I may use some subtitle areas to prompt me to what I need to say next. And I may even put them in a different color so that they grab my eye. Now, sometimes, like right now, I'm speaking straight to you, but sometimes I read things and quotes that I think that are important. But you always want to keep facing the camera as much as you can. But preparation. So preparation itself, making sure that your speech or your talk is interesting. It is something that the audience would like to hear. It's something that the audience needs to benefit from. They need to know. And so you have to make sure that you have great and awesome preparation. Prepare your outline and then go through and prepare the things that go inside that outline, and then read over it again and read over it again and read over it again so that you are confident and you feel good about it whenever you go to share it in front of a group. The next thing is don't babble. And that goes along with preparation, because if you're not prepared, you're going to babble or go off onto tangents. There are things called stories that benefit the audience or have to do with what you're talking about, but you don't want to babble and go off on a tangent and then not remember where you were. So you want to pretty much stay on task. If I'm doing something where I'm talking with people and someone's asking me a question, I might keep a pen nearby and reach up and put a little check by my next comment of where I am, so that whenever the interaction and the talking within finishes, I know where I'm going. But you don't want to babble. And once you're aware of that, if you start to babble, you hear yourself. You're like, So try not to babble. Be sure you're prepared. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is empty words. We all use them. And if let's see, what would I say? Let's see. I want everyone to make sure you're prepared and we all have them, those empty words. And so as you start to prepare to be a speaker, pay attention to your empty words. Do your presentation in front of a friend or two who can take notes for you and look for those. Once you're aware of empty words and you have prepared and you have notes and you can stay on point, then you're not going to have as much trouble using those. And soon as you talk about them, then you start to be aware of them, and you hear them from all different speakers. They use those words. So actually you could go online or listen to a teacher you have, all kinds of things, and you can find those empty words because people don't even think about it and they use those. The next thing, number 4 actually would be to keep eye contact. Keep eye contact. Now, when you're doing a video like this, if I look at myself right here, then this is how I look. So eye contact with the camera is important. Otherwise, I don't look like I'm talking straight to you, right? So eye contact when you're speaking with your group of people. Look around the room. Pay attention to the energy in the room. Are they looking like they're falling asleep? Do they look like no expression at all? Don't worry. Some people never have any expression. Do they look like they're smiling at you, or they're nodding their head because they're relating to you? So keep eye contact with your people. And here's what happens so often. If we're nervous when we start to speak, we start to look down at our notes, and then we might look up a little, but we don't look at the people. Now, what happens to you whenever somebody's not looking at you when they're talking to you? You might question whether they're telling the truth, whether they believe in what they're doing. You're going to question some of those things. So you want to make sure that you keep eye contact. And like I said, when you keep eye contact, it helps you to know what the energy in the room is. And the last one is surveying the room. Now that kind of goes with the eye contact. So if you're actually looking at people, because remember in session 1, we talked about getting yourself out of the way and don't be thinking about yourself, be thinking about them. And so if you're not thinking about yourself anymore, you're less nervous and you're thinking about them. So when you look around the room, it's because you care about them. You have a passion for what you're talking about, and you want to share that emotion that you have and that passion with them. And when you look straight at them, you see their head shaking. Yeah, that's me. I relate to that. Then it helps you connect with them. And so when you're surveying the room, it helps you connect. Another thing is, I've seen many a speaker, probably because they're nervous, when they would start to speak, they would, let's say that this is my whole room right here that I'm looking at. They would look at one area of the room and they would talk to that other area, and there's this whole other side to the room, and they didn't get any eye contact. And it's probably, like I said, because they were nervous about it and they were just presenting to one. Maybe they're looking at a friend, or a group of friends whenever they're sharing. But surveying the room, speaking to the whole room, makes each person feel important. Like you, as the speaker, are paying attention to each person in the room because they are important to you when you're speaking, because you're not just speaking to yourself, but you're sharing with everyone. And the more you share from your heart, share with emotion and passion, the more people are going to hear what you're saying, all right? So there are the next 5 tips on 15 tips to effective speaking.